Hey everybody, we are back, and today's Sunday, so that is game day. There's a game started already. The game's going on, and we can give you some scores and some updates about that. I got David here. You guys know David McNiner, and we're here. We're glad you are all here. We got Bebop and the Shaw Show in the house. Thank you guys for coming. So, David, let's start it out. How's your morning been going?
Pretty good. You know, woke up, got ready for the day before the stream, which is kind of a miracle. Um, and I'm just waiting to see when do we play exactly.
I believe it's 1 o'clock. It's either 1:30 or one. I think it's the 1:30 game. I can Google that.
Okay, that's definitely going to be better for me.
Yeah, I believe it's the 1:30 slot. That'd be like 2:30 your time. Tony's cousin and aunt and uncle are going to the game, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. Hopefully they can. Hopefully they have a lot of fun and come home. It was a lot of fun for us. So I know, man, you get to go to the game. It's a totally different atmosphere. So Cardinals versus Niners game. We got Caitlin in the house. This is one of the lovely ones that are getting to go today. So you guys drive safe, enjoy yourselves, have fun at the tailgate, and all come home safely. And most importantly, and definitely enjoy the game. Okay, so we have Shaw Show and Niner Jess, Jim Everett the Great, and we also have No Border Sports, the realest of us all. Thank you all for coming. All right, so the game is at 125. So it's the 130 matchup. So awesome.
Well, so
Yeah.
so this is my local TV. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
So the early game, on Channel 2 is the Denver Broncos versus the Chicago Bears. You guys can't show a better game than that.
Oh, geez, this
But
is
yeah, it's
wow.
the I told you guys, knowing my luck, it would be on TV for me, and that's just knowing my local TV too. And then the other game is the Commanders at the Eagles. That's probably the one I'm going to watch.
The Commanders at the Eagles. That could actually be a pretty good game.
Then I got the Patriots and the Cowboys. Come on, give me a break.
Well, they are America's team playing America's team.
That's lame. Arizona's closer than Dallas. You figure they'd show their game.
It's weird how it gets set up. When I was in Kentucky, I didn't like watching Dallas games, but it makes sense because they play the Eagles and the Giants and the Washington football team. All right, so yeah, we play the 1:25 o'clock game, which is fun, but I don't know. I like the early games, but we're always an early game on the East Coast. Gives you a chance to
Well,
get around and get things done.
they're only getting pushed back an hour. From the normal time, California
Yeah.
time, right? But it's all good. We'll be at Arizona. That stadium that, if you look at it from far away, looks like a coiled up rattlesnake.
Oh, but the game's in Levi's. This game's a home game.
What? It is?
Yeah, so yeah, the Cardinals are playing us. Yeah, the Niners have 3 home games, I believe. Then they go on the road, and then they come back home for the Bengal game. So today's Cardinals are coming home, coming to the Niners stadium, and then we play the Cowboys. I think that's a Sunday night game. Let me see who's next after that.
Ooh, anyone that didn't start Christian Kirk, he has 8 receptions for 84 yards. Yes, I'm talking about fantasy football.
Yeah, so
Dang.
we play the Browns after the Cowboys, and then we play the Vikings, and then we come home for the Bengals, and then we have a bye week.
Yeah,
So
I was actually running the water jet like for 2 days straight, and because we have a lot going on in fabrication,
mhm.
and the dang thing. I mean, I had a sweater on, hood up like just to keep myself from getting peppered because it's like 20,000 psi, and this the garnet's like sand, right?
Hmm.
And it mixes it with the water, and that's how it cuts through the metal. And every time it would stop and restart, it would spray everything around it, and I was around it. So I was trying really hard to just not be in that position whenever it restarted, but it got me on my neck right here a little bit. You see that red spot and these red
Hmm.
spots.
Hmm.
Yep, could have been worse. I had
Yeah,
a face shield on, but it only come down to here, so like you know.
yeah, yeah. Proper PPE, folks. If you don't know, now you know.
Yep.
That's why the players wear equipment, and sometimes you scratch your head when like you see a running back and they don't have knee pads, or you're like, what's going on? But somebody like Frank Gore, he didn't seem to ever wear knee pads, so and he played for a long time. All right, so if anybody wanted to highlight or an update of the score for the Jaguars are kicking butt over there right now.
Yes, it's what? It's 20-7 and they're 2:09 left in the game.
Yeah, Jaguars always play good in their home country, London. I
Ooh, it's
always
at the
think,
2-minute warning. Looks like the Jags are in field goal range, so I don't know if they're probably gonna kick it.
yeah,
Just
they have
because
the
no matter what, that seals the game, even if
yeah,
something crazy happens.
they're up 2 scores right now. The Jaguars would need a miracle and a blocked, field goal at this point. 4th and 3 at the Atlanta 20, under 2 minutes. So, okay, David, what's your thoughts, real quick, on the Rams and Colts game? Not necessarily your victory score or who's going to win, but do you have anything that you'd like to bring up about the Rams and the Colts? Looks like it will be the next game of the day.
Well, I believe the Colts are starting Gardner Minshew because the rookie quarterback got hurt, Richardson,
Yeah,
and he actually played better for the Colts than he did for the Eagles. You know, and you never know that they might have something, in Gardner Minshew, but at the same time, the whole rest of the Colts team is kind of iffy. They did beat the Ravens last week, but the Ravens have a lot of injuries going on, so maybe they'll stand up and punch the Rams in the face. But Rams are going in relatively healthy, minus the cup, but he's his stand-in Puka Nakua is doing fantastic.
yeah, and I think you said it really well right there. The Rams are going in healthy. They might not have superstars at positions, but the Colts don't either. Unless Gardner Minshew goes in and like plays plays deep, like well, I don't understand. He stepped out of bounds last game. He gave his team a safety. It happens, I guess, but it's not the hokey pokey. You're not supposed to be putting your leg in and putting your leg out of bounds like that. So yeah, I could see the Rams totally winning this. And at this point, you're right. So the Ravens and Browns, if Levi pops in a little bit, we might have a special guest from Darwin's Ravens. He's also known as Levi. He could give us a little bit more of an update on that. But this looks like it's going to be just a juggernaut of a game. Your thoughts with the Ravens and Browns?
I honestly, the Browns are not starting Deshaun Watson. He has been listed as out. They are starting DTR.
Oh
Isn't
wow,
that
let's go.
so? Those who have Deshaun Watson in their fantasy league, your host. But I don't think they even announced that until like today.
Oh wow.
So they're not doing anyone that has Deshaun Watson in their fantasy league any favors. Although he's kind of been a shell of himself, so I can't say I would have drafted him if I played fantasy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, he really doesn't look like the Deshaun Watson that was in Houston before the you know incidents, and
Wow.
we never know if he's going to be the same. But at this point, let me see. I actually picked. I picked the Ravens to win that, even though they're injured,
Wow.
just
So
because
that turns the that makes
I
that
don't
game a
see
lot
that
more.
team losing two in a row. John Harbaugh's a good, head coach.
Yeah, that actually makes that game a lot more exciting. My thoughts on DTR. I mean, with a guy with two last names, sometimes you don't need two quarterbacks if you have a guy with two last names. It kind of makes the difference. Sometimes when they say if you got one quarterback, that's all you need, right? Well, if you have one, that's what you need. But if you have two, then they say you have really none. But if a guy has two last names, there you go. He's the one. So, okay, we're moving on. That's my funny joke. We're moving on to the Vikings and Panthers. David, I can't really say much about this game. I know other than the Panthers have a rookie quarterback and the Vikings have a quarterback that's playing weird. You can't always blame Kirk Cousins for the Vikings losing, but you definitely have to look at him when they do lose. So, what's your thoughts on the Vikings? Well, the Panthers coming to play the Vikings.
I think the Vikings defense needs to be better. I mean, it's not all on Kirk Cousins. They are allowing too many points.
Yeah,
They played winnable games, to this point. They just haven't got lucky yet. But their defense actually getting a stop at the proper time would definitely help them out. But I I think they have like what, Hunter, their edge. I think he's probably their best defensive player. A lot of people are like, "Oh, the Vikings are going to trade him." I don't see this happening, folks. That they need him. So, and
yeah.
who are they playing again?
Vikings and Panthers.
Oh, the Panthers are rebuilding. Have a rookie
Yeah,
quarterback. You
they're both
know,
0-3.
yeah. It comes a certain point in time where an NFL team's like a wounded animal backed into a corner, and they both are right now.
Yeah, it's
And I
kind of hard to.
believe it's at Carolina.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to root against. Kirk Cousins at this point because it's like you're just saying it. Wounded animal, veteran quarterback, veteran team. But then the Panthers are rebuilding, and this is a home game for them.
I believe I picked the Vikings on this one.
Yeah, I think so. I think you did.
I think they're going to pull it out like, 1 to 3 point victory. I don't think it's going to be anything spectacular.
Nah. Okay, so we're moving on to the Bengals and the Titans, and I think that the most exciting thing for me in this game is what color uniforms are the Bengals wearing because they haven't been the Bengals of old, and the Titans aren't. The Titans right now, as long as they have Tannehill at quarterback, they don't seem to be really scaring anybody. They still have Henry. He's a really good running back. But your thoughts? The Bengals at the Titans, and we're bringing
I
in.
think Joe Burrow, if Joe Burrow is playing, then the Bengals have a really good shot at winning that game. Their offensive line is kind of suspect. You never know. I believe they just assembled a few of those guys in. So, as the season goes, they'll gel and they'll get better with each other. But the Titans are a big question mark. You don't know what they're going to do week to week. Derrick Henry's getting older. Ryan Tannehill's kind of very similar to James Richard Garoppolo when it comes to skill set. And, I have to give the Bengals the advantage here just because they have Joe Burrow. And their defense is better than people thought they'd be. Oh, Levi's
That's
got to
fine.
grab him a coffee.
That's Levi, guys. And when Levi's back, we will ask him some questions as well. So I agree. It's not the same team. Joe Burrow, hopefully he gets back on track because he's a really good player. But right now, it just doesn't seem to be. They're not gelling yet. They're not in midseason form. Okay, so David, we're moving on to the Buccaneers and the Saints, and it looks like the Buccaneers are going to be playing the Saints at home, in New Orleans. And the Buccaneers are 2-1, and the Saints are 2-1. So this is the battle for the South.
Derek Carr's out.
Yes.
So, I mean, they're going to be bringing in James Winston, who once threw 30 interceptions in a season. I don't, and so I'm giving the Buccaneers the advantage because they have the veteran defense, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and as long as Baker Mayfield just manages the game and does what he's supposed to do, then the Buccaneers will win this one. But if the Saints had Derek Carr, I would be picking it the other way.
Yeah, see, Derek Carr's good. And it's surprising that he got hurt. Is it really surprising that he got hurt? He seems to, I don't know. He was relatively healthy for the Raiders for the most part. He did have that issue when he got hurt in the playoffs, but him going down there, I didn't think they'd be a bad team. But they have Jameis Winston as their backup, so they should still put up a good fight. But I'm looking. I think that will be a fun game to tune back in and forth on. Okay, so we're going up to the Miami Dolphins and the New York Buffalo Bills, right? The real New York team, the only New York team. So, David, the Dolphins put up 70 points. Are they going to be able to do that against the Buffalo Bills? Are the
No.
Buffalo Bills going to put up 70? Is it going to be like 70-70 in this game and no defense played at all?
Well, it could end up being 73-70. I mean, or it could be a 70-70 tie. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
No, I seriously doubt. That's like the Broncos do not have a good defense. Everyone thought they did, but the Miami Dolphins just tore them to shreds. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson said, "Let's ride," and he got bucked off into the water and ate by a dolphin. It's like it was just one of those things. It's embarrassing. Like all the Broncos players, I got money that they are embarrassed. You know, and now the Dolphins are swimming high. I can't say they're flying high. They're swimming high, and they're heading into Buffalo. To play the Bills. And the Bills defense is a lot better than the Broncos. They've actually been playing pretty good, you know, and we're, I honestly think McDaniels has something for the Bills. I think the Dolphins are going to win this because remember last year they started out really hot.
They did. And something happened. They came and played the 49ers. And after that, I don't know. Did we expose them? But the Buffalo Bills and the Dolphins is like the Cardinals and the Niners. We play them all the time. They're a divisional opponent. It's going to be a very close game. I think it's going to definitely be a high scoring game, but it's going to be close back and forth. I don't see either team having that good of a defense to really stop either quarterback. I do think that the Bills have the better quarterback, but the Bills don't have the speed that the Dolphins have. So definitely fun to tune into that one. But when you do put up 70 points, it's really hard to come off and start the next game and do the same thing. There's a lot of emotional highs. We're the champions. We're greater than everyone. And then guess what? The next team wants to stand up and show you that they're not that team that you just played. They're not going to let you embarrass them that way. So I think the Bills are. This is going to be like a statement game for the Bills. Okay, so we just kind of briefly talked about it. The Broncos are playing the Chicago Bears. This is like the Orange Bowl, but worse, right? So
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on the Broncos in Chicago?
Unfortunately, because of my location, I'm going to be forced to watch this game. Well, I don't have to watch it. Let's be honest. It's a free country. I don't have to watch it. But it's on TV, so I'll probably tune in just to see what's happening. But this is one of those games. Can anyone say, "Oh yeah, these guys are the clear cut, going to be the clear cut victor"? No, no. Broncos just got destroyed, and Chicago is not living up to what they're supposed to be doing. according to this guy I know. And shout out to Michael. Sorry, man. But at this point, they're both on the bottom of the league, and they're playing. I believe I called this one the dumpster ball on my picks because of how bad both teams have been. Although the Broncos did only lose to the Raiders by 1 point, but that's a divisional matchup. That's different. But I believe the Broncos are going in mad because they just had 70 points put on them. They got something to prove. And the Chicago, they're I don't think they're desperate enough to get a win. Or could they be tanking for Caleb Williams?
Oh wow. Wow. That's a point. That's a spin. Okay, so we'll jump to the Commanders and the Eagles, the other team that you'll get to watch.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the Commanders and the Eagles? Again, this is for me. It's a divisional game. They know each other pretty well. They play each other twice a year. It's like really truly a 50-50 game or 49-51 game. It could really just turn either way. But your thoughts? I mean, real quick, I think the Eagles should win, but they are the other 3-0 team, right? There's us, the Dolphins, and the Eagles. We're all 3-0. So, what's your thoughts? And then we'll give it to Levi. Thank you for coming, Levi.
Well, it's one of those pesky divisional matchups. They do know each other very well. The Commanders' defense is actually pretty good. They're not terrible.
Mhm.
And the I believe aren't they at Philadelphia for this
Yes.
one?
Yes.
Then
Yep.
that's an advantage to the Eagles. And I picked the Eagles to win, although I would gladly take the L here.
Yeah.
So I
Yep.
expect the Commanders to put up a fight and the Eagles to win by one score or less. One touchdown or less.
So, Levi, what's your thoughts? And we won't go through the whole lot with you, but we'll finish up the lot, and then we'll go back down to your game of the week. If you guys
Yeah.
don't notice, Levi is a Raven fan.
Well, I
So
never would have gave you that.
I don't know. It's just but we're going to talk right now about the Commanders and the Eagles. And what's your thoughts? We are
All right.
looking at this game.
Looking at this game, I want the Commanders to slightly do well. They're right down the road from us here in Baltimore. They're Washington, but they're in Landover, Maryland, so they're a Maryland team. I expect the Eagles to come away with this, but don't get sold on the Eagles quite yet. Looking at this inactive report, Sidney Brown, safety, Tyler Steen, the offensive tackle, Moro Ojomo, three guys I covered in my pre-draft special, all out for the Eagles today, inactive. I think they'll be fine, but like David McNiner said, this is a division game, man. They always kind of take it close. But I got Eagles winning this game by probably 1 TD.
All right. Well said. We're going to jump to the Steelers and the Texans. This is a surprising matchup. Very surprising matchup because when we played in week one, Pittsburgh didn't look good at all. But now Pittsburgh's bounced back. They're 2-1, and they were playing the Texans, who are 1-2, and the Texans are in rebuild. But the Texans are scary. They are one of those teams that will play you tough through the whole game, and you'll walk away and you'll remember that you played them. And this is before D'Amico Ryans went there. This is the Texans. The Texans are a very blue collar football team, and they play 4 quarters. So we're gonna go with David, and then we'll go to Levi. David, what's your thoughts on the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans?
I honestly, Houston pulled off an upset last week, and no one saw that coming. But now they're fresh off a win. They got to win, so they're going to be happy campers. They're rebuilding. I do expect them to put up a fight, but they're not winning this game. That Steelers defense is too good. They're not going to get picked apart by a rookie QB. It's just not going to happen. It's going to be grind it. They're going to be one of those grind out games where the Steelers are just running the ball all over the place.
What do you think, Levi?
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, they don't seem to have an offense, do they?
I thought the Pittsburgh Steelers were gonna have their shit together this year. That final preseason game, they took me from not believing in Pickett in that offense, to a believer. And then they came out week 1 against your 49ers and, made me backtrack a little bit. But, CJ Stroud's finally starting to catch a little bit of his stride. I did like the young man. Honestly, his poor play was starting to make me worry about the I don't know if y'all saw the league scores that before the draft, he was supposedly had one of the lowest scores out of the quarterbacks in this class, like in the mental capacity. But you know how that goes. That could be all like smokescreen shit. Um, I think this Texans can kind of sneak away with one here. I think Will Anderson is going to make Kenny Pickett's life a living hell today. And I think Kenny Pickett's going to throw 2 picks. Because
All right.
just say this, Will Anderson dominated Kevin Zeitler. That's a Pro Bowl right guard who's been in the league for like 10 years.
All right. I like it. I like it. Okay. So this is a game that I think all 49er fans, probably for the rest of the time of this man's career, will be tuning in to watch, to either laugh or maybe cheer the guy on. But at this time, it's not about him because he's hurt. So Jimmy G, you can call him Jimmy Hurt, uh, whatever you want to call him. I guess you can't call him ugly, but that's your prerogative. If you want to call him ugly, call him ugly. But Jimmy G is hurt again, and it's to me, it's just one of those things. It's like the sky is falling in Las Vegas. I'm glad it's not in Santa Clara anymore. He threw a bunch of picks the last couple of games. He's leading the league in picks. It's kind of funny. You would hope to see the guy do better, since he said, he wanted to go out and play, and be free. Well, he's being free, and now he's free and hurt, and they're playing the Chargers. And I took the Chargers, I believe, in this game, if I'm correct. I have to look at my pick'ems again. I normally take the Raiders, but I was thinking that Jimmy G was going to be playing, and now I'm kind of really thinking the Raiders might have a shot, because you have a quarterback that you come in and you don't know much about, and the Chargers are struggling to win games. They have a good team, but they are like it sometimes, it's like it's right in front of you and you can't see it, and that's what's happening to the Chargers. They're not getting it done, and it's I don't know. Maybe that's why they left San Diego, or maybe they're looking to go back to San Diego because they don't know what they're doing. So let's go to David. David, your thoughts on the Las Vegas Raiders playing the Chargers? And I don't know how much we can spend on this game. It's not much to say, but go ahead.
And it's a divisional matchup, and I don't remember where they're playing. Let me look real fast. Oh, they're playing at they're playing at Levi's Inglewood.
Yep.
So I have to give the advantage to the Chargers, although I'm willing to bet the majority of the fans are going to be Raiders fans. So, but yeah, the Chargers, they came out last week with the victory. I expect them to win this game. James Richard Garoppolo is listed as out.
Yeah, that's funny that you brought that up, that the Raiders fans are going to dominate the Los Angeles stadium, because that's one of the reasons that it's funny if people didn't know. So the Los Angeles Raiders used to be down there when they had St. Louis. Well, St. Louis and LA LA let all their football teams go at the same time. St. Louis got a football team and Oakland got their team back, because the Oakland Raiders are the Oakland Raiders. They moved to Los Angeles. Well, they still had a big fan base down there in LA, and they were going to move back to LA just recently, before everything was set in stone and put away, but the Rams and the Chargers were moving, and the league didn't want to let 3 teams move, and they really didn't want the Raiders moving to LA, because the fan base is huge down there. They thought it would just overshadow the other team, and there's a lot of gang politics down there too about certain teams. So LA just decided with the league that the Raiders probably aren't suited to come back, but there is a lot of Raider fans in Southern California. So I totally see what David's saying. This stadium could turn black. It could be a black hole this game. Levi, what's your thoughts on the Raiders and the Chargers?
Raiders, Chargers. Let's be honest. Though. I saw something this morning about the Josh McDaniel and the Raiders talking about when he was out in Denver, basically saying every game they won, they cheated, and all the players were wondering why this coach, who was not that good, kept winning games. And I believe they started the season 6-0, and then lost almost every game after he got caught cheating, and of course he was fired subsequently. I think the Raiders are hot trash. I've been calling since before the season started from, some sources that the Raiders were on the edge of their locker room exploding. And we're seeing that now. Everyone is unhappy over there. The Raiders are not doing what they do. The Chargers have been a little disappointing, but I've got to give it to the Chargers in this. I just got no faith in the Raiders. And I hope my boy Hunter Renfro gets traded to somewhere where he's more needed and appreciated.
Shout out Hunter. I have him on my fantasy league. He's on my bench, but he's there.
Like I said, I grew up with him, man.
So we are going to move on to the Cardinals at the 49ers. This game's at 1:25 p.m. It's the game of the week, the game I'm looking forward to, the game that I'm always tuning into, the San Francisco 49ers. What can you say about this game? It's you can say a whole lot. The Niners are going to be coming in with a great sense of morale. We're coming off 3 games. We got Joe here. The Niners are looking to go 4-0 if possible. We have a couple of wide receivers that could be banged up. I heard Debo might be playing. Oh, look at him. We have Jennings, I believe, who's also banged up. Ayuk, I think he's playing, but they might sit him as well. Mitchell's out, but for the most part, we're coming in pretty healthy. So I'm going to say for sure, Niners. Let's just keep grinding. It's going to be a great game. Let me give it to Joe real quick. Joe, tell us how you got that funny hat and where you been at.
Just got back from Wisconsin, dog. Went to Lambeau Field. That was so fun. Yep, that's it.
So what's the stands like? What's the refreshments like? Is there better food in Seattle? Better beer? Is it colder?
It was pretty warm there when we were there, but the tailgating is insane. It's nothing like anything I've ever seen. Like, it was like the whole parking lot, everybody just had their barbecues out. And I mean, like, it looked like SEC type, what you see on College Game Day. And then, what else? Oh, yeah. There were just people, like, giving out beer and drinks and stuff the whole time. Like, it was crazy. And then we got invited into their, like, tent, and it was huge. It was, like, a giant tent. And then, yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I'd recommend it to just about anybody. I rolled in wearing a Seahawks jersey, and everybody kind of flipped me shit. It was funny. They were all really nice, though. They're like, oh, my God, you got to try cheese curds. So I ate a shitload of cheese curds while I was there. Never had them before. They're actually pretty good. But, yeah, it was so awesome. Man, I recommend it to just about anybody.
It is a stadium that I definitely want to go see. My aunt and uncle was at the game. They probably didn't run into you, but I'll ask them if they've seen a Seahawk fan. You probably would be the only one.
During the game, I kind of wanted to blend in, so I did wear a Packers jersey. I wasn't really rooting for anybody. I just,
Seahawks fans disown them.
No, So I wore a Seahawks hat, my Seahawks shoes, and I just wore a Packers jersey. You could actually see on the sweatshirt I was wearing, it said Seahawks down the arm. I was just like, I just kind of want to blend in a little bit instead of everybody. Like, when I first rolled into town, they were like, oh my God, what are you doing here?
That's funny. All right, so David, your thoughts on the Cardinals and the 49ers?
We should win this game. On paper, we have a better team, but the Red Chickens are pesky. They stand up. They try to punch us in the face, but, chickens aren't exactly tall, so that they just can't reach.
All right. So, Levi, what's your thoughts real quick on the Cardinals and the 49ers? And it doesn't have to be real quick. I just
See,
I'll talk
everybody
for all.
knows that chickens are like dinos, and dinos got short arms, and everybody knows dinos went extinct because they can't throw hands. No, I'm just kidding. But we talked about this yesterday. The Cardinals' inability to stop the run, and of course, the 49ers' ability to run the ball, I think is going to be the main play here. Like we talked about yesterday, don't get too cute. Average passing yards for both teams about the same, but the run yards given up per team is like a over 100% difference. Run the damn ball, like Joe's hat says, and you'll come away with the easiest win probably of the season.
Don't jinx them, dude.
I know, like I jinxed my Ravens last week.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, what's your thoughts on the Cardinals and the 49ers? It's a division game. These two teams you should know pretty well.
Yeah, division games are always closer. I don't know much about the Cardinals this year with all the turnover they've had. I could probably name me like 4 players on their roster, maybe 5 or 6, but I don't know. This is obviously you guys should win this game, but division games are weird. I know you guys were 6-0 against the division last year, actually 7-0, including the playoffs. But I don't know. I'd be
Did y'all
wary.
see the thing with Josh Dobbs on social media, by the way, this morning?
No.
He's mad because you can't buy his jersey. He went in the Cardinals' actual shop to get his own jersey, and it doesn't offer it. He's like, "Come on, guys! I know I'm new, but."
That was up to week 3. So this is week 4. The report come out that now you can buy his jersey. So he's all happy now. But he did post that earlier in the week, and I was like, oh wow, like he's a starting quarterback and you can't buy his jersey, which is kind of funny. I mean, I remember there was a time when Tim Rattay was the quarterback, and it was similar to that, and there's been a couple
Worst
quarterbacks
organization
we had,
in football.
But okay, I totally agree.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Joe.
I was just wondering if McNiner is supporting the Red Hot Chili Peppers the way he was yesterday, listening to "Give It Away" or whatever.
Californication.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to move on to the Patriots and the Cowboys. One thinks they're America's team, and the other one thinks they're America's team. At least they have at least rights to say it for the last couple of years, right? So Patriots are going to the Cowboys. I think the Patriots, they still believe in themselves. They got a good coach and stuff, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're the better team. But there's something wrong with the Cowboys recently, and maybe there's always been something wrong with the Cowboys. They are that normal 9-8, 8-9, 500 team. So I'd like to see the Patriots win, but I think this is Cowboys bounce back game. Let me go take care of my daughter for a second. And David, what's your thoughts on the Patriots and the Cowboys?
I don't think Michael McCorkle Jones is the QB that for the Patriots. They're going to end up searching for a new one. He's not that he's just not that good. Shout out to all the reporters that were saying, "Oh, the Niners are going to pick Michael McCorkle Jones." Well, they call him Mac, but he's Michael McCorkle Jones.
Dirty player.
To be fair,
yeah.
To be fair, McNiner has more success than Trey Lance at this point.
I got a joke for the Cowboys. Why they can't ever win so many games? Why they always lose games? There's a legend out there, an urban myth. For every game the Cowboys lose, Jerry Jones has an illegitimate son that he won't recognize.
Oh.
Wow.
That's why they lose so many games every year. For those that don't know about the whole report and all that stuff, and he was getting blackmailed by people who were saying, "You're my dad," and I'll go to court over it, and it went away real quietly, guys. The same.
Joe, what's your thoughts on the Patriots and the Cowboys?
I think the Pats take this one.
All right, I can see it happening.
I think I think they're going to run the ball a lot. The Patriots are, and I don't know. I just feel like, are the Patriots 0-3 right now or 1-2? I didn't look. Let me
The
look
Patriots
before I
are Patriots are 1-2, and Cowboys are 2-1.
that kills me more. I thought they were 0-3 because I was like, Belichick doesn't lose four in a row. Cowboys should win, but don't sleep on the Patriots. They have a tendency to stay in games that they shouldn't be because he's a hell of a defensive coach.
So this game coming up, I thought it was going to be more of a exciting matchup. At this point, this is, I guess, the most exciting thing is you're going to see Taylor Swift. So it's the Chiefs versus the Jets. I'm sure she's traveling with the team, or she's flying her plane in front of the Jets plane.
She lives in
the
New York.
Chiefs plane. Something's happening, right? 400% jersey sales have went up since Taylor Swift has came into the Chiefs. They're totally embracing her. I think they made her the team mascot. So it's Taylor versus the world, everybody. I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to have something to say about this, but he played 4 plays and he's done. Probably done. He thinks he's coming back with a bionic ankle coming, hopefully during the playoffs. But I don't see that happening. Usually, this is a career-ending injury.
His spirit shaman told him, if you drink enough ayahuasca, you'll come back fine.
If they make, here's the thing. His timeline, he said, I'll be back for the Super Bowl or something, or deep in the playoffs. If somebody else gets you that deep into the playoffs, I don't want Rodgers back. Those guys are obviously vibing together. Sorry, to get off.
No, but that's
I agree.
That's exactly, it's like you're going to go all the way through. It's like kind of like what happened with Brock Purdy last year. He got us to the playoffs. If he would have got to the Super Bowl and Jimmy Garoppolo stood up and said, Coach, I can play now. You're sitting on the bench, bro. Purdy's the guy starting, It's just, you can't do that. So totally agree.
Kaepernick story.
So yeah, let's David, let's hear what you guys say about the Chiefs and the Jets. This should have been a better game. Hopefully, it's not a blowout.
The Jets actually have a good defense, but the problem is they have this QB that's more focused on his friends' moms than he is actually playing the game. Oh, I said that out loud, didn't I? But
sometimes facts really hurt.
I can't play for Sean McVay.
Yeah. But I think the Jets defense will stand up and play, but when you're going to be on the field 35, 40 minutes, you're not going to outlast Patrick Mahomes. There's no way. And, their offense, I just don't see them producing at a high level with Zach Wilson at QB.
He sucks.
Yeah. He's going to be the next Sean McVay, don't you know?
What's your thoughts on the Jets? There was a Kaepernick report, wasn't there?
Yeah, he's been, supposedly, who was it he wrote to write to the Jets? Was it a rapper or what? I forgot. But he's trying to get on the Jets practice squad. He's trying to get in there any way, shape he can. As much as I love Kaepernick, man, dude might, the years have probably taken their toll. I don't know if he'll ever come back. I was a huge fan of Kaepernick when he came out of Nevada. I followed him for a long time. But to the Jets and Chiefs game, the Jets, I am mind-boggled. And I know every Jets fan that I know agrees with me. Why the have you not made a trade? Who the are you bringing in? This was the year. You're not going to really get another 2 years out of this experiment. What the are you doing? Go find somebody. And of course, Jet fans are pissed because they could have made the same offer they made to Rodgers to Lamar. And I don't know many Jets fans that would not be, Lamar would not have got hurt like Rodgers did in that pocket. Lamar would still be healthy. The Jets season would still be alive. Now, of course, I'm ecstatic Lamar didn't go anywhere, but I feel for Jets fans, and there's no way the Jets pull this win out. If they do, I'm officially cursed.
I would like to see the Jets trade for Kirk Cousins and get him out of Minnesota. I think that would be a better situation.
Especially 0-3 start, like.
But Joe, what's your
He won't go
thoughts?
anywhere. You got Justin Jefferson.
What's my thoughts on the
The
Jets?
Chiefs, yeah.
Yeah, Jets suck. Man, let's be honest.
Ben Roethlisberger ain't got no arm anymore. Here, no.
Yeah, Sauce Gardner is a B level. Tariq Woolen. Just look at the stats are there. No, I don't know. I think the Chiefs take care of business, obviously, just like everybody else does.
All right, so let's start it out with you. Okay. It's your team of the week, your game of the week. Seahawks versus the Giants.
Oh yeah, it should be a good game. Saquon Barkley's out. Their tackle, I think his name is Andrew Thomas. He's out as well. They should have one of their edge rushers back. This should be a game we win. Knock on wood, we've never lost to that stadium. So, yeah, I mean, it should be. Also, Jamal Adams is back this weekend. See what kind of an impact he plays. Tariq Woolen's back. So this is the first time you're going to see the Seahawks full first-team secondary on the field all season. And then we got a bye after that. So, you know what? Go play your asses off. All you can do to win, play like it's the last game of the year, and then you've still got 2 weeks until you play your next game, so plenty of time to recover.
So the Seahawks are 2-1. The Giants are 1-2. The Giants just played us. We usually, after teams play the 49ers, they don't win normally. I don't know if that stats has remained the same this year. No, the Steelers broke it, right? Steelers broke it, I think.
Yep, they did.
Sorry, real quick. I got to slide out. I got to go get ready for my my stream today. My game's starting in just 10 minutes.
All right, real quick.
Appreciate you having me on.
Later,
all right,
homie.
we'll see you later.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw your boy
DTR
starting today, Brian.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get your thoughts on. So we'll
hey,
talk
I'm
later.
excited for it to watch it, but you know, if y'all got some time, drop in. But thanks for having me on, and I hope everyone has a good morning and great week.
You as well. Thank you. That was Levi, and we're just gonna finish up real quick with the Seahawk game, and we're gonna let everybody get to their day. Appreciate y'all for coming. This has been the morning breakdown show for you. It's Sunday morning. So yeah, Seahawks, they should win this game. The Giants just don't seem to be that team that they were promoting themselves to be. And with Barkley out, they really don't have much. It's just really not much for them to. They have Waller, but I'm not going to say Danny Dimes on the 49ers would win a Super Bowl again. Not after watching them play the Niners.
This is also one of those games, you got to be careful because I think the Giants are a decent team. I think the Giants are decent. I don't think they're a great team whatsoever, but I think they have the tools that can beat us, especially Jamal Adams. He's never been great in coverage, and they have one of the best tight ends in the NFL. So let's see how she goes. I don't know how they're going to use Jamal Adams. We haven't seen him in 2 years or a year and a half. So let's see. Maybe he sucks. Who knows? He didn't impress me that much before. So.
What's your thoughts, David? What's your thoughts on the Giants, in the Seahawk game? It's a Monday night game, so it's definitely going to be entertaining.
It's at Seattle, and the Giants are still missing, right?
No, it's a Seattle versus
New York.
The Giants.
Ooh.
That's what's interesting.
I hope they redid your field for the Seahawks' sake.
Yeah, we'll see.
But the Giants are still without their left tackle. So I expect Nwosu to be in that backfield harassing Daniel Jones.
And Boye Mafe, don't forget about him. He had a big sack last week. Jay Reed was coming in hot from the inside. So I think he's going to be on national television. I think you guys are going to know who Boye Mafe is by the end of Monday night.
Is that a rookie?
Second year.
Second year guy?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, honestly, I expect the Seahawks to win this game because the Giants just haven't looked good. Last year they started out hot. Everyone was like, where'd this come from? Didn't Duval win some sort of award? their head coach. But this year, they got Darren Waller. They improved the team, and they're just not looking very good. It's puzzling.
It is. That's why you play every week. Is win or lose, you don't know what could happen. They could be a better team, but they just don't come to play that day. But hey, it's about time for everybody to start turning the TVs on, getting the TV ready for the game, and appreciate y'all for coming. Joe, thank you for coming. David, Levi, thank you all. You guys know, anytime we're gonna do it again. Hopefully next week we'll see you again. And with that, guys, we're gonna go. You guys have a great day.
Go Niners and F the Lambs, even though I picked them to win this week.